It's been 84 years.
That's how long it feels like to me since I took apart Big Red version 3. But I am done waiting, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally time to build my ultimate dream gaming PC to complement my ultimate dream gaming setup, which I officially started. If you guys somehow missed that video, definitely check it out. I'll drop a link to it down below. I'm building the craziest setup I've ever done. And once this PC is done, I'm gonna be mounting it right above it. It's gonna be freaking epic. Let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is back. Break the Code is back for 2022, and if you're smarter than the average chimpanzee and you love winning awesome prizes, including a $10,000 dream setup, then you might want to stick around. Unless your IQ is lower than an ostrich, you might want to skip the video. Break the Code 1.0 broke the internet last year when the smartest techies came together to solve puzzles in exchange for prizes. And now they're doing it again, but on a bigger scale and with even better prizes. The game is hosted on the Windows 98 operating system, and it works like this. You visit go.tech/TechSourceXBTC or click my link below and start solving the puzzles. It's that simple. This game is designed for people who want to be the smartest in the room and for those who are highly competitive. The puzzles are fun, but they're challenging, so I dare you guys to participate. After all, this is the best chance for you guys to win an awesome setup. So visit go.tech/TechSourceXBTC or just click the link below to start playing now. So this system will be my main gaming rig, which will essentially power the entire setup. And then I'm gonna build myself a secondary smaller PC dedicated just for streaming, because I do wanna take streaming a little bit more seriously. I do have a lot of fun doing it and interacting with you guys live and playing games. So my goal is to stream maybe 3 times a week if I can get to that. But yeah, that is what I'm planning to do for 2022. I'm actually really glad I waited a little bit to start on my personal rig, because we got some new powerful parts in: faster processor, DDR5 platform, and the fastest GPU currently in the market, the RTX 3090 Ti. I was actually gonna settle for a 3090, but I waited just enough for the 3090 Ti to launch. Then again, that's kind of how the PC world works, right? It doesn't matter when you build a PC or how long you wait, there are always new parts coming in. And I kind of hate how they split the launches. Like, they launched the CPU separately, and then like end of the year, they launched the graphics cards later. Why can't they just launch all the parts within like a 3-month span? That way, us users, if you want to plan, to build a PC or upgrade our system, we have a full list of components we can choose from, instead of worrying about having our system being outdated after a couple months of building it. But anyways, that's just me ranting. Anywhoosies, so I did a video on the case I went with a few months back. If you guys want to check it out, you can see a more detailed breakdown, but I decided to go with the Crow case. It's an open air, wall mountable frame that just looks gorgeous, and it screams Big Red version 4. I've always went after unique cases, something that isn't easily obtainable and is very difficult to replicate. That is, in essence, the DNA of Big Red version 4, which is why I think the Crow is the perfect fit for this build. So yeah, with that said, the point of this video is to obviously begin the build and also make note of any potential issues that I come across. That way I can fix them or find a solution for them before I begin adding the water cooling parts, which will be in part 2. All right, so we're gonna prep the board first. Like always, you guys probably already know which motherboard I'm going with. The formula from ROG Maximus is clearly the best choice for Big Red version 4. It's got the all white theme, plus it is compatible with the new 12th gen processors, and that is the processor I'm going with for this PC, because I do want the best for gaming, and currently the 12900K is the best. Oh man, look at that. Such a sexy board. I actually don't know if I'm gonna cool the VRMs with liquid cooling. Apparently you don't have to water cool the VRMs, which is interesting, but we'll see. We'll see what looks the best inside the case. Building PCs for the channel is fun and all for content, but building your own personal rig that you get to keep and add your own personal spice to it, it hits different. And I don't even remember the last time I've actually built myself a system to keep on the channel. At Big Red 3.5, actually, that's when it was. I don't know how long ago that was, but it's been a while, guys. It's been a minute. All right, let's pop in the 12900K. This will be overclocked, obviously. We are water cooling the entire system, so it just kind of feels like a shame not to push it to its absolute maximum performance. All right, so for memory, this actually took very long to arrive. I managed to snag one from Newegg and it literally sold out afterwards. And this one I requested from Corsair. So tossing in a 64 gigabyte DDR5 kit from Corsair. Of course, I gotta go with the Dominator Platinums in white. You guys already know that. And we are running on a frequency of 5600 megahertz. So extremely fast RAM sticks. I do have to say, obviously 64 gigs is a little overkill for this system, especially if it's only for gaming. And we're not gonna be doing any like editing or rendering, but Big Red is an overkill system, so we gotta keep the bloodline alive. I got bamboozled by Corsair when they sent me the black ones. Remember the white stick that was inside of a cutting board in the last unboxing video? Oh man, I finally get to see these in person. Oh, just like how I imagined. So beautiful, so gorgeous, you guys. It's so clean, so minimal. I love it, I love it. I was this close in using the black sticks that I got and painting those in white just so I can start on my build, but I'm glad I was a little patient. Also, if I'm being honest, you guys, the 32 gigabyte kit comes with 2 sticks. So if I did go with a 32 gigabyte kit, I would have 2 extra DIMM slots open and I just can't have that. It's gonna really bother the crap out of me. You guys know I love a full motherboard. Oh yeah, look at that. That is one beefy board. Now let's go ahead and hook up the storage devices. All right, so storage is really important to me, and for this build, I'm going all out. I like to avoid external drives and traditional 2.5-inch SSDs as much as I can, and stick to small form factor M.2 SSDs. So for this build, we're going with 3 M.2 SSDs for a total of 20 terabytes of space, okay? We're gonna be going with 2 8 terabyte M.2 SSDs from Sabrent for mass storage. And then the main drive will be the new MP600 Pro from Corsair that's PCI Gen 4 compatible. So that will have my operating system running on there. So 4 terabytes from that, plus 16 terabytes from these bad boys. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I'm gonna reserve the top slots for the MP600 Pro from Corsair, which is on the way. Obviously, I want the operating system on there since it's running off of PCI Gen 4, and I could take advantage of those extra speeds with the Z690 platform. These other 2 drives, unfortunately, are not PCI Gen 4 compatible. Otherwise, obviously, I would toss it an 8 terabyte for my main operating system, or my main drive. But these will just be used for mass storage. You know, downloading setup ORS files and all my games and stuff will be going on these drives instead, which is still good. I'm not complaining. And to get access to those M.2 slots, I believe you have to remove this armor piece over here. Oh yeah, there it is. One over here, and then there's one over here as well. Oh, you don't need any extra screws. Okay, that's cool. There we go. All right, so the motherboard is pretty much prepped. We're still waiting on the M.2 drive, which will be here in a few weeks. And then, oh, the CPU block as well. I'll be going with the Corsair Hydro X series lineup, just so I can stick to one brand. I love Corsair, I worked with them so many times in the past. They have the best software, period, currently for RGB and to fine tune the water cooling part. So obviously we're going with their memory, we're gonna go with their fans. It's gonna make it easy to control everything in their IQ software. So that is what I'm using for Big Red. Now it's time to pop it in the case. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are gonna start running into problems. I hope we can run into a lot of problems so we can find a solution and fix it before part 2. That's my goal. Now it's time to test out the power supply. I need to figure out the exact measurements for the custom cables before I place the order. And the only way I can do that is by measuring the distance from the actual power supply unit to the 24 pin and the 16 pin EPS connectors up top, and of course to the graphics card's PCIe. You know, I'm actually gonna hook up the cables on here just for reference, and I can use these as a measuring point. If it's too short or too long, I will know. I should probably do this with the case flat on the desk because it's wobbling and it's giving me anxiety, but you know what? We're too far in, let's just get it over with. So I can't screw in the bottom one because I have to remove the pump cover, but it's holding the power supply just fine temporarily, so I'm gonna leave it like that. Oh, that's gonna be a very tight bend. Okay. So some of these cables are really hard to pass through the motherboard in the case, so I think I'll have to run the cables through there first before putting in the motherboard. Okay, yeah, the CPU cable definitely has to be longer. That was difficult to pass through. The 24 pin is nice. There's actually a lot of slack in the back, so I'm gonna make this one a bit shorter. And then the last thing is the graphics card, so let's pop that in. So this is where my patience paid off, you guys. Instead of going with a 3090, I'm going with the 3090 Ti. Bruh. Yes, I know this is a 3080 Ti. I don't have the 3090 Ti on hand because I don't think anybody has a 3090 Ti for some reason. Stock is very, very limited, but I was assured by NVIDIA that I'm getting a unit. So as soon as that gets in here, I don't know when, hopefully in the next few weeks, that it's going straight into this build. Well, no, it's gonna be taken apart first. Water block will be installed and then it'll be going in this build. So I'll be using the 3080 Ti temporarily just so we can measure the cables. All right, so there are two ways we can mount the GPU. The horizontal flat, which is the traditional, and in my opinion, I feel like it's a bit outdated in a way. This is just personal preference, of course. Or we can go with the horizontal flipped. I don't even know the actual term for this, but personally, I think the card will look the best in this position. It really does showcase the beauty of the graphics card, in my opinion. So I'll go with this, but I will have to hook up the PCIe Gen 4 riser cable. This is the one I stole from the Lian Li white on black build. If you guys missed that video, check it out. It was a super clean anti-RGB build. I think it turned out absolutely amazing. This is a bit too long for this build, so I think I'll just use this temporarily until I can find a shorter white riser cable. So I'll just put that there for now. So I was actually going to wrap up part one over here, and then I got a notification that Corsair is sending me a care package. So I decided to wait a few more days until we got some new parts. So we actually get to finish more than half of the build today. So we got the second radiator, got a Commander Pro. Ooh, this is nice. Corsair's new ML120 RGB Elite fans in white. I believe we have 2 sets of these, yeah. Total of 6. What else do we have? We got the MP600 Pro XT, which will be our main drive for the build. We also got the USB 100. It's a 7-port USB hub, which I'll be using with my setup. And the XT7 water block for the CPU. So the only thing left is the block for the graphics card and the 3090 Ti, basically. Oh, actually, almost forgot about these. We'll talk about this in a bit. yeah, come to Papa. I'm not gonna use the heat spreader, so I do have to take this out. And luckily the graphics card isn't blocking off the top PCI slot, so it should be a very quick install. Okay. Oh no, the memory is in the way. Let's just move a couple of them. Not a big deal. Oh man, I could already feel the power. I could already feel the speed. It's gonna be nice to finally take advantage of PCI Gen 4 speeds. All right, so I guess I can put on the water block, or the CPU block, I should say. What the hell, bro? I swear, these came in just perfect time. I'm building myself my ultimate dream gaming PC, and I just started building the ultimate dream setup. Life's good, I'm not gonna complain. Life's good. My health is doing a lot better. Things are finally turning around in my life, and man, it just feels good. That's all I gotta say. Hope you guys are doing well too, by the way. Past 3 months have been hell of an experience, that's for sure. Hopefully I can finish this system and finish my setup at the same time, and I can finally get back into streaming, honestly. I've been really itching to get back into streaming, interacting with you guys on Twitch, playing games with you guys. It brings me a lot of happiness, and that's ultimately my goal with all this. All right, now to route this cable. Ideally, I would want this routed through the top again. So let's see. Let's go the other way. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. This case is getting heavier and heavier. I hope these things don't snap off and the PC just falls flat on its face. That would suck. That would really suck. So yeah, I guess we can hook up the radiators and the fans. We're gonna be doing a push configuration. Not that it matters, it's an open air case anyways, but at least this way the fans will be visible from the front. And you know I'm a man of aesthetics, so the system's gotta look good, right? Let's bring that up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Wait, does this even fit on here? Hold up. Imagine it doesn't fit. Okay, yeah, we're good. We are good to go. I've never seen these fans in action, so pretty freaking excited to test these bad boys out. Oh, they look so clean. Look at that. How many RGB fans are you gonna make, Corsair, honestly? So one of the cool things about the new Corsair fans, oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's reacting to the green tube in the back. Look at that. That's crazy. I can only imagine what the RGB lights are gonna look like once it's on. Wow. Whatever material they're using is very reactive. Look at that. That's pretty cool. But the cool thing about the fan, it's actually not that. It's, they've designed it in a way where it looks just as good in the front as it does in the back. So you can use these any orientation you want, and it's gonna look really good inside your system. If she looks good in the front and the back, that's how you know she's a keeper. Oh man, I can't get over how clean these fans look. So one of the cool things about this case, and I just figured this out, but there are actually cutouts over here on the side where you can pass through the fan cable. That is freaking genius. So there's a cutout for every fan on the radiator. Most other cases I've done water cooling in actually have never thought this far. So it's really cool to see this here. So I'm not exactly sure which orientation I'm gonna keep the radiators. I might flip one of them. It really depends on how I can get the cleanest runs. So I'm only installing 2 screws in the back for each rad just so I can hold it in place while I can plan out the tube runs, which will be part 2 of the video. All right, guys, here is what the build is looking like so far. Damn, like seriously, I can't even believe this is a PC. It's a work of art, and it's not even done yet. I'm just so excited, you guys. It's gonna look so different with the tubes and the coolant running through there and topping it off with the tinted side panel. It's gonna be the icing on the cake, honestly. I'm so freaking thrilled to power this thing on and start gaming on it. It's gonna be an absolute beast, but yeah, super excited. What I wanna do now actually is replace the silicone inserts or the gaskets inside of the distro plates. It's a very minor nitpick, but I feel like if I replace these with a white one, it's gonna look a lot nicer, in my opinion, especially with the white coolant going through there. I feel like the black is gonna stick out a lot compared to the white coolant. If I was going with a different colored coolant, I wouldn't care as much, but because I'm gonna be using the Mystic Fog from EK, I gotta replace it. So I ordered a bunch of different sizes from eBay. I have no idea which one to use, because I'm not really good at measurements, so I just ordered a bunch of sizes. I don't know why I ordered this one. This one's way too thick. Jeez, but it's gotta be one of the smaller ones. So I'm gonna take this apart and figure out which one to use. And then we gotta install, finally, the pumps. I did pick up 2 pumps from EK. These will be going on the bottom. Even though I am running 2 pumps, it's going to be a single loop. I'm not splitting the loops because it's gonna require a lot of power to push through the coolant, do this entire system. So we definitely need the power or the pressure of 2 D5 pumps. All right, guys, I think this is a really good place to end it. I definitely did a lot more than I intended to for part 1, but oh well, you know, more content for you guys, and this just means less work for me for part 2, which will be the finale. Yeah, absolutely loving the way this is turning out. I think this is gonna be, hands down, actually, my best build I've ever done on the channel, and I get to keep it. So pretty excited about that. I figured out which size I'm gonna use for the gaskets. This is the 2mm version. So I'll replace these in the distro plate for part 2. We're still waiting for the GPU block, and what else? Oh, the custom cable extensions. I gotta place an order for those. And finally, I do wanna take apart the power supply and paint the grills and the fan inside because the black is kind of sticking out too much. So that will all be for part 2, and then we can finish the tube runs, pour in the coolant, and fire up this bad boy. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, I'll drop a link to all the parts I used down below if you guys wanna check it out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.